Hello, my name's Eric from FPV Racing Hobbies. We're a SwellPro factory sales and service center. We're located about 20 miles west of Chicago. We're in Elmhurst, Illinois, and thanks for watching and checking this out. This is the Splashdrone V3. We're going to do an introductory to the auto version. So we'll get started with that. It's got a different case from the V2, but it's really nice. It fits for your carry-on. It's molded. It's got a nice molded case, all the parts. These are all the accessories that you'd be getting. So if we want to get started, take the straps off. Then we'll start explaining part by part. This is the 4K integrated gimbal camera. So there you go. The SD card will go in here, which I guess I should pop open for you. So if you see that, there you go. Little micro SD for you. Make sure it's fully seated when you put it back in. It's not sticking up at all. It should be flush, except for that little tiny knob right there. So, there you go. Put that to the side for a moment. So this is your balance charger. It's capable of 1S, 2S, 3S, and 4S. It's a balance charger. It will basically indicate the percentages for the battery. Obviously 100% is done, and you'll hear the cooling fan will turn off. Balance charging is really the best way to go, especially on drones like this. You're not racing them or nothing, but that could be a novel sport that we might want to try. Racing the Splashdrone, be like a water course. Okay, so this is the really great, awesome feature. I really love it. It feels good. It's the new remote for the V3. On this side is going to be your 2.4 gigahertz antenna for your transmitter or radio, whatever you wish, to the drone for controlling it. This is your 5.8 for the video. Just a quick overview. You have your switches here for your airdrop. If you wish to get a payload release servo for it, then you can use that option. This is your video switch for videoing. Preview, and then you have photo. You're able to switch from video to photo during flight. I have some customers that are asking about that. And on this side over here, we have the GPS, Smart Cruise, which is almost like a follow me, and ATTI. And that's where you want to go if you start losing control of this drone, or it starts wobbling out of control because of a bad calibration. That is just within its limits. Switch it to ATI, which is ADI mode. Switch it to that immediately, so you're only flying off the flight computer, no GPS control. Okay, and then here is normal and return to home. When you flip the return to home, it's going to climb to 20 meters, fly over its target for where it returned, fired up, and then it's going to do a rapid descent to about 10 feet, and then it'll deaccelerate and do a slow descent until it touches down. Obviously your throttle, your yaw, your pitch and roll. To turn it on, you push for safety both buttons at the same time and hold them, and then it'll fire up. This would be your USB port here for any firmware updates and whatnot, and plug there. Okay, a mono jack. On the back side, you'll see it's RoHS. It's got all its certifications. Comes with the LiPo, the 7.4 volt. This one's they're 1800 milliamp. So you just plug it in there. They'll come with a serial number and an EAN number. So we're just going to plug this in here because we're going to end up turning this on anyways eventually. Which maybe we'll just turn it on for a moment just to get an idea what's going on. I mean, if we could want to see video, then I guess Terry would be a brother and like turn on this little whoop to get a picture if you wanted to. I don't know. So basically, to turn it on, we'd push both of the power buttons. And then it's going to fire up there, like that. You're not going to really see anything right now until you get something going. So when the drone fires up and stuff, you'll see we'll have telemetry and such there. And it'll tell you different sections. Let's see if we're going to get something here. Alright, so there it is. And that's from a blade, right? That's your little blade. That's the little blade. So there we go. Ooh. Okay, so it's pretty cool. See? You can even use this. You can actually bind it with the blade. So, but that'll be a whole nother class there. So we'll turn this off right now. And then we'll play with that here shortly. So one of the new things with the V3 is the quick disconnect, self-locking, obviously, props. So on the props, there's a couple wording you're going to want to know. CW, meaning clockwise. CCW, counterclockwise. Okay. Kind of nice. You're going to have to hold it the right way. I'm going to show you here. It's a little bit cumbersome the first couple times, especially the way you turn and lock, and then the other way is to turn and lock. So there's our props. We'll get to that. So in the goodie bag here, I guess I should get a knife if I have one. Maybe they'll get me one. Here we go. Jeez. Who are you hacking with this thing? Hello, Grizzly Adams. Alright. So, in the black box, number 1. There's no numbers on it. Okay, so your power cord for your charger. Obviously, it just plugs in right here, and you plug it in the wall. Okay. That one's for US. And in the big box is the goodies. So you have your lanyard. Comes with a lanyard. Pretty nice. I don't use the lanyard though. Never have. It comes with 2 motor. They're the end caps for the motors on the tips. Like if you didn't want to use the landing gear or your gimbal at all, and you're just going out there flying line of sight. The plug for your port for your camera, so that if you ain't using it, you could plug it with that and still go waterproof. And then it comes with the little Allen wrench and such for your camera. Okay, so let's kind of look inside it real quick, and I'll show you. It's going to come with the battery inside. And we'll thumb screw this here. There we go. And remember on this now, we've put a label that says keep this side up. That way people realize what way to put it in. It's a lot easier if the power cable is swinging to the rear side. As you see, everything still has a serial number and an EAN number, even the battery. This is the new S3 flight computer. It has the 40-channel video link. It's the same as the S2 or the V2 model. I don't know if you can see that very well. The GPS is a dual GPS module, so there's dual GPS. There's 2 modules in there. Your receiver is a dual diversity receiver now. It is different from the, it's still 10-channel, 2.4 gigahertz, but it is different from the V2 model. That are hanging from the bottom, those are the antenna tubes to go in there. So you just know that. You have your USB hookup there. So I just want to get the cover back on here and then get the landing gear on, and we'll get the case out of the way. So let me show you the best way to put your landing gear on with this box system. You see how the radio is set up there. You really don't need the charger and stuff. Oh, I guess we should finish up with the box, shall we? So, on the auto version, you get your data link. This is the one. You can charge this with your USB cord, which comes here and uses for your transmitter and the drone itself. This is the Bluetooth data link. So this data links into your phone, and then from here it sends out the signal 900 megahertz to the receiver of the data link in the drone, and that's where it gives you the ability to use your app. This is the binding cable now for the receiver for binding, but you won't have to do that when you first buy it. They're bound already. And the other great feature that Eric has done is added a new membrane. We've been replacing them for customers, but now you get your own replacement. You just peel this one off. Don't try not to damage it. It allows barometric pressure to change inside the chamber of the drone, and it allows air in and out, but water not to flow into it. So it keeps it waterproof. If you damage this, it will get wet inside, and that's what happens to a lot of people. So, and if you have to replace it, just clean it up. Get it off with your fingernails so you don't scratch anything. Clean it off with some good adhesive remover, but not too potent, and then re-adhere it. Just center it. So, the nice feature is you just flip over your drone when you're out there. You don't have to lay it in the beach and stuff to get your landing gear on and stuff. You just put it like that. Here's the quick guide that's going to come with it, and there's some stickers in there and stuff, and for your proper calibration. So please read them. So, very important. Landing gear, this is the left, it even says L, and then we have the right one. So insert this one first, like that, insert this one too, and then bring them together and they spread open. That creates that binding effect in here. That way it quick disconnects in a crash, right? So there we go, that one, and you'll see they curve in. Maybe I should turn it a little. Okay. There we go. All right, now we got the landing gear on. That's great, right? So, here's the 4K integrated gimbal camera. Here's your plug. This is the thumb screw right here. Basically unscrew the thumb screw, and you don't have to torque the heck out of it to hold it in. Apply it here, facing forward. And let me show you, I guess I should have showed you that. It basically gets inserted. You'll see how this hole is. Let me show you. If you see the hole, and the neck of square peak goes in there, the thumb screw gets inserted, and then gingerly screw it in. Just needs to be finger tight. You don't have to torque the heck out of it. There you go. The screwdriver slot is not for tightening. That's if, you know, temperature variations and stuff in the metal, and, you know, it's hard to get loose. Then use a screwdriver. All you need to do is use 2 fingers and not be Hercules. Okay. So there we go. We should plug. I'll plug it in now for the initial startup. But when we do a calibration and stuff, we're gonna unplug it so it's not bopping all over the place. Look at the pin orientation and the little slot, and then find it here and plug it in. Feel it. Don't twist it around too much. Try to really find it without twisting so you don't bend the pins. Push it down. You'll see. Feel it'll insert pretty well, and then just tighten this up and snug it. And that's good. Okay. So, there we go. La la. So we'll get this case moved out of the way, and then we'll put the propellers on. Okay. Now, there's the forward. So, if you look on the motors have on there clockwise and counterclockwise. This is counterclockwise. A great way to remember is front of the drone is here. The blades turn in, back here, in. So you've got counterclockwise, clockwise, counterclockwise, clockwise. So this one is CCW. So we look on here for CCW, and if that wears off, it says CCW. So the most kind of thing to kind of get used to is which direction to twist and turn it, because it takes a fair amount of pressure, and you want to bring it down straight and even because the tolerances are a little tight. So I hold it like this because I'm way up high right now. but down and that turn, and then it's locked. And you can lift it up a little bit and you can feel that it's locked in. So let's look for the next one, and that would be CW, which would be clockwise, and you see that there, and there it is right there. So clockwise is going to go down, and we're going to turn it that way, which is the opposite direction of the motor rotation. Okay, I found it there. Put it in and turn it. There we go. Sometimes I push harder than I have to. Makes it harder to turn. Okay, so this one is counterclockwise. There we go, counterclockwise. That one's, there we go. Counterclockwise, find the slots. There we go. Alright. And clockwise, double check, even though it's the last one left in the bag, you never know what comes. There we go. Okay, so we are locked in, and that's how you put the props on. So basically now we're ready for an accelerometer calibration and then a full compass calibration. So I'm going to take the props off, and then we'll do that.